Good evening, I'm Jeff Lyons. It is Wednesday, July the 30th, time for the 14First Alert Weather Show at 9 p.m. I'm glad you're here tonight. We have some great weather on the way. We are making the transition now away from our 10-day heat wave into some much more tolerable conditions to finish out the work week and get into the weekend. I am watching your comments now on the 14 News Facebook page. If you have anything you want to get off your chest, you can do it there, and I will check in with your comments and questions about halfway through the show, as we do every night. So with that in mind, let's see why I can't advance my graphic. Well, that's not going to be any fun, is it? Maybe I can do it that way. All right. Well, best laid plans. I just cannot advance. Let me, let's keep talking. Oh, wait, it's changing behind me. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Well, we'll keep going then. So we have basically scattered showers and thunderstorms continuing here across much of the northern part of the tri-state. And I expect some of that then to begin to move our way as we get into the overnight hours. It's still not going here. Give me just a second here. We will try to reestablish our connection here with my computer so I can control it. Always good to have control, right? All right, let's see here. This is actually one of those rare occasions. It's not my fault. It's like the computer is out to get me. Typically, I'm the one that forgets to do something, and let's see. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. All right, let's try this again, and we'll see if it indeed takes off. There it goes. All right. So, okay, there we are. Right. Now we're working. So we had 83 degrees out there right now, and the heat index is at 91. So it's still pretty stuffy, as you know, and around the area, those feels like temps still in the low to mid 90s in spots, but we are just ahead of some much cooler air that will be filtering in here for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Tomorrow, kind of the transition day, we could still get up to 85 or 88, but then it cools down really nicely there over the weekend. All right, now we can talk about what's happening here. Back to our west, we had some showers and storms earlier in Missouri, some of those trying to creep into southern Illinois. They are weakening as they come along. The models had kind of hinted at that scenario, weakening thunderstorms moving in ahead of the cool and drier air. So it's possible that we will make the transition from this hideous, hot, humid air over to really pleasant stuff without much ado, without thunderstorms and so forth. I think we will probably get a few showers and storms overnight and early tomorrow. I'm not particularly worried about severe weather at this stage. I think the weakening trend seems to be the going idea here with all the models. And once we get the first round of storms through and the winds change around to the north, it's going to cool down pretty quickly. Now the humidity, it might take a little while longer to really dry it out completely, but with the north wind and lower dew points, we should have that scratched off our to-do list by tomorrow evening, and that means Friday then will be the best day of the week weather-wise, and Saturday too. They'll both be about the same. Saturday, very cool in the morning, down to about 63. Our rain model here, the GFS again, kind of pulling back on potential rainfall there with this frontal passage overnight tonight and tomorrow. Really delightful temperature. I haven't used the word delightful maybe ever here on the weather show at 9, but it's really some great weather back there. Mid-70s, Des Moines now, 81 at St. Louis. So that will continue to push in here overnight and then really come home to roost on early Friday morning. And you see our temperatures now still in the lower 80s out there, but still pretty humid too. We got up to 94 today and only dropped to 74 overnight. And you can see a lot of red here on our calendar. So we had 7, actually we had 11 days in a row there of temperatures at 90 or greater. And, you know, if you threw out that 82 the day we got all the rain, it'd be more like 15 days in a row, or 16 at 92 or greater. July, August, typically the hottest months for the obvious reason the sun's as high as it gets in the sky. We have the most incoming radiation from the sun, and the days are long. You have a lot of opportunity there to heat up. So now, you know, we got to get through August, then we start ticking into fall. For the month, I think we're going to come in with a much wetter and much warmer than normal July. That's not much of a guess there or a risk. That's where we stand right now. Not much is going to change in one day. Tomorrow, temperatures back up into the low to mid 80s during the afternoon. And at the moment, we still have a few kind of isolated stronger thunderstorms. You can see the frontal boundary there from about Toronto, and then it kind of slides down here into about Wichita, Kansas, and into Oklahoma City. Out ahead of that is where we have the showers and storms. Behind it, we have the winds shifting around to the north. We've been removed from any risk for storms overnight here for the southern half of the tri-state. And then for tomorrow and Friday, maybe a pop-up shower or two. The better chance would come tomorrow if we get any rain at all. But as I've mentioned here several times, the trend, at least in all the models that we've been showing you, has been for those showers to kind of dissipate before they get in here. So best case scenario, we will make this transition to cooler temps and not make a lot of noise in the process. Longer range next week, we could see some more scattered showers coming our way Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And by that point, we'll be ready for a little rain there to kind of reinforce the drying conditions out there. 74 for the low tonight, scattered rain possible, then cooler temps, 88 degrees for the high tomorrow. And over the next 7 days, we have some great weather over the weekend, mid 80s next week, and thunderstorm chances, pop-up type thunderstorms will reappear toward the middle of next week. Longer range, warming up again to near or above normal temperatures and above normal precip for the same time. And I'm going to give Geo a second run here. That's been one of my favorite pictures here in the last couple weeks. So that and the one of the train was really good too, that William Raleigh sent in. So they're all good, but I'm going to leave that one up there. I like how he kind of smiling at me here while I'm doing my little shtick over here. All right, now I'm looking at your questions. Jeff Miller wants a little rain. See, you know what I'm talking about here. The ground's starting to get crusty again already. Lacey Martin is waiting for the big cool down. Temperature in Henderson was down to 85. All right, I was in Henderson this morning getting some video and shooting a story there. And it was a little yeasty there toward 11 o'clock. It was getting pretty humid outside. Cheyenne Hammonds is excited to have the heat gone or going, and so is Paula Schaefer. She says good evening. Let's see, Laura Gray watching us from Dawson Springs tonight. Good. All right, let's see. Future radar on the app keeps saying we should get rain tonight. But looking at it seems so off. Yeah, I would agree. The app sometimes has a mind of its own, and it's looking strictly at model data, not at actual data. I would, at this stage in the game, I would just look at the radar and do nowcasting. Even the high resolution, the HER model, and some of the ones we look at shorter term are still trying to kick up some rain, but man, it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. So let's see. Hannah Classic wants a little thunderstorm overnight, just one to go to sleep by. Okay, well, you know, we could see that. We also, of course, are in the middle of the growing season here for our farmers out there, beans and wheat, corn, of course. Many other crops are growing out there, and the corn is reaching its peak. I've noticed this. I'm a bicyclist, so I do a lot of my riding out in the country around the cornfields. And you could feel it. Sunday, I was riding. You could even see, it was early in the morning, kind of this fog right over the top of the corn plants. And that's the moisture being released by the plants through evapotranspiration, which makes it a little more humid. right in and near the cornfield than it does, say, down the road or, in the Walmart parking lot, as an example. Now that evapotranspiration is reaching its peak right now, and at the typical rate, that it comes up to about 3 to 4 thousandths of gallons of water per acre per day. Now you consider that a typical backyard swimming pool, like an in-ground pool, would have about 20 to 25,000 gallons of water. We're talking about a lot of water. I mean, some of these farms are, thousands of acres out there, or at least we have thousands of acres planted around the tri-state. Maybe only a few of the farms are that large. But of course, more water equals higher dew point, and it increases that heat index. Interestingly, I did a little more research on corn sweat. And, we talk about how we have all this corn here in the Midwest, the Corn Belt, and why that would make it more humid. But you got to realize scale now. And so while, yes, it will be more humid around the corn itself and in the cornfield, overall, it still is a tiny, tiny fraction of the humidity that we would get from, say, the Gulf. When we have a southerly wind and a lot of tropical air pushing in, that overrides any little corn sweat that we might have. So corn sweat, better for like social media. People like to share and talk about that stuff. But yeah, it's not a huge problem or deal out there. All right. I think we got everybody's questions answered. Let me go back around one more time. And we have. So with that in mind, we'll just cut it off short here tonight. Let you enjoy a nice evening out there. I'll be back with you on 14 News at 10. And of course, tomorrow night here on the First Alert Weather Show at 9. Please stay safe. Have a great night, and thanks for watching.